Hi, everyone. Welcome to the market update. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope the week is treating you right. Before we get into how rates have looked over the week, I want to have that clicker go below, and you'll be surprised if you're looking at the numbers. Basically, almost everything across the board has more active properties than pending properties right now. So that is definitely something to be excited about if you're out there looking. Inventory is slowly tricking up. As a whole, 3,200 properties or close to 3,300 properties compared to 2,800 properties pending. So yeah, inventory is slowly starting to trickle up. How are rates looking right now?
Well, bear bad news today. So we had a rough day here. We lost about 0.25% today from yesterday. So it was a pretty big hit. Some bounced back a little bit, but looking at conforming rates of about 5.875, jumbo loans 5%, VA, FHA 5.625%. So they've gone up quite a bit in the last week or so, but highest in a few months that we're at right now.
Again, it gets to the idea of being creative, right? Being creative with what's out there. I mean, there's a program that I want to say we talked about last week or before, but Calihafa, right, where you have the assistance for 10% down on the purchase of the property. They can get forgiven after 5 years. I mean, there's so many different programs out there. There's stuff that pops up almost. It seems like every single week. Is probably not that drastic, but it pops up every short while. So if you're looking to buy something and you really want to talk to a trusted lender, like Jared, talk to a trusted lender, talk to a trusted realtor, just to see even what's possible. It's building a roadmap. If there's a will, there's a way. It's just finding that roadmap to get there, and it might take a couple weeks, months. It could be even longer than that. So, yes. All right, we got Eric saying waves. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I first thought he was talking about like waves in basically the rates or waves in that, and then I realized he was waving. So that took me a second right there. Anywho, let's get into the fun. Let's get into the chance to win some money. Into question time. All right, so this is where all the fun's at, right? Where your chance to win some money. I know you're getting the knowledge, I know you're getting the information, and learning the communities. Okay, so how much did the most expensive detached property sell in La Jolla so far this year? What's your guess, Jared?
I'm gonna go 15 million. Going for a big one.
15 million? Not big enough. 21 million, 22, close to 22 million. All right, we got a comment right there. Before we get into the question for this week, how are ARMs now due to today's changes?
Yeah, so they're slightly better. I wouldn't say that there's a huge significant difference from the regular 30-year jumbo. Sometimes 1/8%, a quarter, so possibly getting into the fours, high fours still, but they're creeping up as well.
And for people that aren't familiar with adjustable or ARMs, they're basically adjustable rate mortgages. So he's not talking about something wackadoo. Thank you, Emmanuel, for throwing it out there. And then we got Eric come back here. I'm going to guess. I'm assuming he's talking about my guess at his whole wave thing, his wave comment. All right, let's get into. Okay, so this is a chance right here to win the $50. Okay, how much did the least expensive detached property sell in Coronado so far this year? All right, so La Jolla, one of the higher price point communities in San Diego County. Coronado is another one of those high price communities in San Diego County, right? So on the high end, for La Jolla, we were talking about roughly 22 million. Now on the low end in Coronado, what's your guess for least expensive detached property in Coronado, Jared?
My guess is 850,000.
Oh, that is Jared's guess. What's your guess going to be? Oh, see, we got another one. We got Eric throwing at 715. So we got an 850 and we got a 715 there. Who are you going to believe? Who are you going to go for?
We can't tell if he's typing there in the background,
He might be texting. He might be texting that number too. I have no clue. But anyways, text the number for your chance to win. You'll see it through the clicker for a chance for $50. All right. Now, so something to think about too. We're getting into the summer months for people watching right here that are thinking about taking advantage of the market, either buying or selling. Yes, values are high, and people are like, "Oh, well, values are going to drop fairly soon." Again, we're a little more than a month worth of inventory. A month worth of inventory in a balanced market. We're talking about 6 months of inventory. We've been so starved for inventory that it's going to take a little bit of time for us to adjust. So it's going to take a little time for us to actually see the effects of what happened with COVID. So I mean, we probably will see some sort of drop to the market. That's based off of how what happens with interest rates. Yet we're probably not seeing anything drastic. I mean, over the next year or two. So if you can wait it out a couple of years, right, then go ahead. But you're going to be paying rent, right? You're going to be paying rent. So if you can buy a property for a similar rent, right, and get the tax benefits,
that's the big one,
right? That's where it balances out. I mean, so yes, you can wait it out and focus on the monthly payment. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what if the price goes down when you own the property. If you have a 30-year fix, you could keep that property forever as long as basically you're paying similar amounts of rent and the tax benefit.
Exactly. Just holding it's going to be better. And even if it's a slightly out of your comfort zone, the tax benefits, of course, are going to make it so that even if it's a higher mortgage payment than what your rent is, you're going to benefit from that. So if it's pushing you to your, out of your comfort zone a little, just check and see. I mean, it's worth it to own the home, build the equity, and then, sell in a couple of years if you need to buy a bigger home. But I mean, getting in the market right now is a great move still.
How is demand? Yeah, well, that's the big question, right? Demand is still really strong. And it's gone down fairly drastically. You got to think, right? We're talking about, Jared has been the bearer of bad news today, and talking about we're getting pretty close to the sixes, right? Interest in 6. And yes, if you talk to most realtors and most lenders that are going to try to sell you, and if you watch the market update for long enough, I'm never going to be one of those people that's going to sell you on the idea, right? I'm going to fight against basically selling you, right? And right, so you're going to hear most people trying to sell you going, well, 6% over basically the history of rates. You know what? 6% is fantastic. I remember when I bought a property and it was 12%, 13%. Okay. Well, that's
and it cost also $40,000.
Exactly, right? You're buying at $40,000, right? So to answer your question, Emmanuel, demand has trickled down a little bit, right? Because the monthly payment has gone up because prices have gone up. Yet there's still always going to be people that need to buy. There's always going to be people that need to sell, right? And again, if they're focusing on the monthly payment. So yeah, the demand is not as strong as it was, a couple months ago, right? Yet there's still people out there that are looking to purchase. And days on market is going to start trickling up. But we're talking about a whopping jump from, 5 days on the market to maybe 10, 12 days on the market. Right. And then if rates go up, we're going to see even a higher jump to days on market. But there's still the demand. We're talking about 5 weeks of inventory, which is when at our low moment, we're talking about like a week and a half of inventory. So yeah, demand is still there. But if you're looking to sell, it might be good to sell sooner than later. Because you do get those people, you're still getting those people that fall in love with the property and willing to overpay for it. I think that's a thing that's going to slowly start fading away. We'll get people buying, but maybe not the people that are getting overly anxious and overly excited to buy drastically above. What are your thoughts, Jared?
Yeah, I agree with you. We're still in a hot market. It's pretty crazy right now. If people are figuring out ways to be creative, like you said. So it's always good to look into your options.
Yeah, and you really have to remember. There's so again, every person has a different reason why they're looking to buy. Some people were buying before just because they wanted to buy. Rates were so good that it's like, I have to buy because rates are so good, right? And now it's like, okay, well, do I need to buy? If you don't need to buy, maybe you're not going to be buying right now, but you really have to look at that monthly payment. And remember, Jared's going to get